as the penultimate round of the 2025 Championship season sees two former Super League giants meet on a special afternoon for a very, very special girl. Jordan Lilly, he lines up the kick-off. Marcus Griffiths, he puts whistle to lips. And as we know, Bradford and London, they're two of the 7 championship clubs to formally apply to become a part of the Super League next year in 2026. And the two former Super League clubs believe that they have strong bids and support each other in their quest to return to the top flight for the first time, in Bradford's case, since 2014. So London with first use of the ball, and they're moving it out of acting half here. A good strong run from the Welsh international Curtis Davies. He's 5 metres shy of halfway on what is tackle free. Walker out of acting half now to Marcus Stock, the former York Emil Stagsman. He's 5 metres inside the Bradford half of the field. The ball is going to go back to the Australasian Conor O'Byrne. He goes high, targets Okinbaugh, and Okinbaugh deals with that high hanging kick from Conor O'Byrne with 60 seconds gone. It's the Broncos 0, the Bulls 0 here on West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com. And already George Tafua has met some black-shirted Broncos resistance, and he's pushed behind the advantage line. Bailey Lou tackle free now, and Bradford are 12 out from their own line. Always a bit of a game of chess early doors as both sides wrestle for that momentum. But as we said, 2 changes made by Brian Noble. George Tafua for Kieran Gill, Bailey Lou for the injured Matty G, as we see Ronan Michael, who's brought down on his back the Ireland international, 20 shy of halfway, 30 out from the Bradford post. It will be Lilly to Hooley. Hooley kicks on the last tackle, and a chance now for the London Broncos with one of the former Bradford men in this London side this afternoon, Liam Tyndall, returning possession up to London's 30 metre line. Well, as we mentioned, London Broncos, they will finish the season in the bottom 4. Bradford know a win today will mean they will not finish any lower than 3rd, and potentially giving Brian Noble the opportunity and chance to rest players next week in that game against Featherstone Rovers. Sadiq Adebayi, the Nigerian, up and over halfway, brought down by Blake and Fulton. 5 metres inside the Bradford half. They're going to go out of acting half once again with Curtis Davies. This time Michael and Fulton wrap up the former Halifax man. They're on the last tackle here, the Broncos. Davies will play it. Adebayi, 10 inside the Bradford half. Back it goes to O'Byrne. O'Byrne, it's caught the wind, and it's taken by Walker, who passes back in field. Ball's come off a hand. It's a London hand, say the officials, and Guy Armitage has recovered possession here for the Bradford Bulls, and now they is laying down in the tackle. Referee Marcus Griffiths will penalise the London Broncos early doors here, and this will now be an opportunity for Luke Cooley to take the Bradford Bulls deep into London territory. We've had 3 minutes gone here. London making 3 changes. Will Lovell, the Broncos captain, backed by Sadiq Adebayi and Ben Hersey-Horde. Bradford making 2 changes. George Tafua and Bailey Lou. It will be Armitage who won the penalty to tap it. Infield it goes from Holmes to Lawrence. Lawrence brought down tackle 1. 35 out just to the left of centre field. Lilly acting half. Now it's going to go down the middle here with Fulton. Fulton's wrapped up and swarmed upon by 3 London Broncos defenders. Bradford 30 metres out from that London try line in a centre field position as Holmes has it. Short ball now to Lou, and the Kiwi is rolled over just outside the London 20 on tackle number 4. Bradford go back down the middle here with Ronan Michael is inside the London 20 metre line. Once again, London having to commit 2 and 3 players to that tackle as Lilly now has it, gives it to Lawrence. Lawrence head down towards the post. Last tackle here for the Bulls. 0-0. 4 minutes gone on the clock. Lilly to Keys. Crossfield kick from Keys. Looking for Okinbaugh. Okinbaugh takes it. Can he get the ball down? He can't. And that is great defence there from the London Broncos. Jaden Okinbaugh latched onto the crossfield kick from Joe Keys. But credit where credit's due. The Australian Brandon Webster-Mansfield and Liam Tyndall, they stopped Jaden Okinbaugh from getting the ball down. And Jaden Okinbaugh, realising he was heading dead in goal, He offloaded the ball behind him and it went into the arms of a London Broncos player, and that is now London in possession. 10 metres out underneath their own post. Couple of tackles gone on this set of 6. 5 minutes gone on the clock here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium. Over 3,000 tickets sold for this one. It'll be London's biggest crowd of the season. And the captain of the Broncos, Will Lovell, will receive a penalty. Bradford guilty of being offside inside the 10. Well, as we said, Brian Noble doesn't really expect, when you talk about a dominant game from start to finish and controlling it for the full 80 minutes. Does take a while for sides to find the rhythm. Bradford's defence, though, has been their strong point, despite those narrow defeats to York, Toulouse and Barrow in recent outings. Here come the Broncos. It's going to be Kobe Ruggless, who started the season at Hunslet, who plays it 20 metres out. Connor O'Byrne to Walker. Walker now on this left-hand side to Natoli, the Italian international. Caught high. Officials have missed that one. Alex Walker carries it out of acting half. Keys, the former London man, and Jayden Okenbaugh wrap up Alex Walker 5 away from the Bradford line. They're going to move it in centre field here with O'Byrne. Now it's going to be Stock to Paul Selly, back on an angled run. It is going to go there with Lovell. He's wrote down there on what is now the last tackle for the Broncos. 6 gone on the clock. London 0, Bradford 0. He'll play the ball. Well, the Broncos captain, as Connor O'Byrne gives it to Natoli. For Natoli is denied. Door slammed shut. 5 metres out. That was good, effective, alert defence by the 2 Bradford Australian contingent of Jayden Okenbaugh and Zach Fulton. So if you are just joining us here, it is 0-0. Still waiting for first points. We mentioned the changes. The referee, Marcus Griffiths. Well, the touch judge on this main stand side is the 22-year-old from Yarm. It's Matty Lynn. He's the touch judge today, but he made his Super League debut on Thursday during that Salford versus Carolans game, and he did well. And now George Tafua has gone without the ball. An early error here for the Bulls, right in front of the post. That is not going to please Brian Noble and Lee Greenwood, because the London Broncos are going to have a full set 10 metres out. As we've said, 2025, we have seen far too many times where Bradford have switched off, allowing errors and lapses to play into the arms of the opposition. Is that a key moment in this game? 6.5 gone. London from underneath the post with Connor O'Byrne to Ethan Natoli. He joined London from the Newton Jets at the start of the season, where he spent the last 4 years, and he'll play the ball a metre out underneath the post. Now it's going to go here with Stock, who once again is going to drive it in, but he's not going to get no money from Logan Bayliss and Michael Lawrence. Luke Hooley comes in as the third defender. Curtis Davis goes from centre field over on that right-hand edge. Will Lovell trying to reach out and get the ball down, but it's a penalty here against the Bradford Bulls. Tom Holmes has been penalised for being offside in the 10, and Mike Eccles has a big decision here. I think he's going to keep the pressure on the Bradford line. So we've already seen a couple of penalties conceded by the Bulls, and with 8 minutes gone here, this is now a third consecutive set that Bradford have to defend on their own line. London, you feel, about to pounce. Connor O'Byrne misses out Sadiq Adabayi, and it goes to Luke Paulselli, and Paulselli is around and underneath the post. It's try number 10 for the Australian. He scored last week against the Batley Bulldogs in that big 30-16 win, and Luke Paulselli, the Italian international, he spent time with Logan Bayliss in the Queensland Cup at the Mackay Cutters. He has breached the Bradford line. There was a bit of a soft underbelly to that Bradford Bulls defensive stand there. We did mention it was 3 consecutive sets of 6 defensively that the Bulls had to absorb, and not for the first time this season. It has come off the back of an error from George Tafua and then back-to-back penalties. Bradford, no real complaints with that one. Well, as we said, London, the return to winning ways in West Yorkshire against a brave battling Batley side last Saturday. That hard-fought victory over Batley keeps the Broncos in 10th spot in the table, but they are firmly looking to finish the season as strongly as possible. And any more results might just favour their Super League bid with Lord Jonathan Kane and that independent panel. Kick predicted at 100%. Jack Smith, one of the former Bradford players in this London side, 3 from 6 against Batley last Saturday. This one's in front, and it is London Broncos 6, Bradford Bulls 0, after that try from Luke Paul Selly. And now the youngster Smith with the conversion from in front of the post. So West Yorkshire Radio, Bulls TV, rugbyleague.com. Hooley back on halfway. Referee stopped the clock because the ball has blown off the kicking tee. Well, for those watching on Bradford Bulls TV, you will see that it is resplendent, glorious sunshine here on the first weekend in September, but there is a bit of a strong breeze for the goal kickers Luke Hooley, Jordan Lilly, Jack Smith to contend with. So we're back underway here after London have opened the scoring and lead by 6 points to 0. Here goes Sadiq Adebayi, beats Wonga Blake, bounces off Wonga Blake. Bayliss and Michael end up being the two Bradford men to bring Sadiq Adebayi down. And now London have just thrown a wayward ball that's missed a few players out, but they have recovered possession with their fullback Alex Walker. They're going to go straight down the middle here. They're on the last tackle from the halfway line after points. It'll be that try scorer Paul Selly. He will target Tafua. He's got the sun in his eyes. He takes that one, ball and all. And George Tafua, the jukebox, the former Manly Sea Eagle man, is wrapped up 12 metres out from his own try line. Good afternoon to everyone joining us on the radio. Let us know where you're joining us from this afternoon. We've got Natalie and Michelle joining us. We've got Ellie and Norman. We've got Mick and Keith in Clayton. We've got Adam joining us from Widnes. He'll certainly be looking forward to that trip to the Shea tomorrow to watch Halifax Panthers and the Widnes Vikings. 6th against 7th, it probably decides who finishes in the playoffs. Bradford here, 10 shy of halfway. Being put under some tough defensive pressure here from the Broncos. Keys kicks on the last. That's taken by Tyndall after a little bit of a bobble and a juggle. And now he will turn defence into attack, and all of a sudden you can just see London, the cutting shreds through the Bradford Bulls early doors here. They're already up to halfway, and what is now tackle number 1 with Ethan Natoli, the Italian. Well, as we said, Luke Polselli, he is an Australian, but he does have Italian descent, Italian heritage. And now it's going to be Stock to Polselli, to Walker. Big collision there from the jukebox on Webster Mansfield. And that has got the 800 Bradford supporters off their seats. And that is one of the tackles, the bone-crunching tackles of the season. Webster Mansfield, the Australian former West Tigers man, gets up and he looks up and he says, where the heck am I? London continue with 12 men. Walker's going to kick behind the line early on tackle 4. And Jaden Okinbaugh does well to track back under pressure from Tyndall and Natoli. So here goes Hooley, tackle 2, 10 metres out. It's looking like Webster Mansfield will be okay to continue. The doctor has just given him the all clear. But look at this defence here from the London Broncos. Bradford 5 out from their own line with Tafua playing the ball on tackle number 3. Holmes to Armitage. And they're on tackle 4, 10 metres out in front of the post. And on the exercise bike, Zane Musgrove, Chris Hill, Eben Sker, all watching on. They'll be given their opportunity at some point, but early doors, London keeping the Bulls at bay. So Key's forced to kick from inside his own 20-metre line on the last, straight down the throat of Walker. And the Scottish international will carry London 5 inside the Bradford half of the field. Alex Walker made his debut against Bradford the last season Bradford were back in the Super League, which was 2014. He has scored a try in this fixture here in the last 2 meetings. So London playing the ball just inside the Bradford half of the field. Marcus Stock to O'Byrne to Adebayi, who gets tangled there with Lawrence and Lilly. Much better defence there from Michael Lawrence, leading by example as the Broncos with Lewis Bienek are inside the Bradford 20 on that right hand side. Lovell, no look ball to Webster Mansfield. Mansfield is brought down 5 metres out, 5 in from touch on the far stand side. London 6, Bradford 0, 14 gone. O'Byrne with a crossfield kick. Wonga Blake takes that one under pressure, and Wonga Blake has come up with the error here. It's another error that will go against the Bradford Bulls, and it was that crossfield kick there from Conor O'Byrne, the Australian, who's been playing recently in the Super 13 for Carcassonne and Lesignan. So 3 early errors right at the start of this game for all the Bulls. And let me tell you, Brian Noble is not happy here. He's left his coaching position at the back of the main stand here, and he's right there on the touchline, bellowing the orders to Keith Senior and bringing energy to the touchline. So while London, underneath the Bradford post, pack the scrum, it's looking like he's going to front load some energy here with Eben Sker and Chris Hill about to come on. Bradford have to try and defend this set of 6 here. London looking to go back-to-back early doors in this game. Bradford have had no ball whatsoever in that London half, and it's going to be Paul Selly to Lovell. Lovell wrapped up by Holmes and Liu, and much better defence there from Tom Holmes and Bailey Liu as the London captain is pushed back past his own 10-metre line. So they've gone behind from where the scrum was formed. Here goes Davis to Bienek to Walker. Walker, dummies, can't go past Hooley and Fulton. 2 tackles for Bradford to defend here. The trail 6 points to 0. It's all the Broncos in the opening exchanges. And Marcus Stock there, he passed the ball towards the try scorer Luke Polselli, and the line was opening up there, but Luke Polselli couldn't take the ball in, and he has come up with what is London's first error here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium. So London 6, Bradford 0, 16 gone on the clock. Bradford have a very, very relieving scrum here, 10 metres out from their own try line. Well, the tail of the tape sees Bradford make their 4th visit to London's new Cherry Red Records home. They arrive in the capital with 3 wins from 3, unbeaten here. Is that a good omen or a bad omen? Well, when the 2 sides met in round 1, it was a typical opening day game with composure and cohesion sadly lacking. Bradford did have a strong second half performance, posting 16 unanswered points to win by 20 points to 6. So we've had the scrum to the Bulls and London offside from that scrum. So Luke Hooley, a quick tap. He didn't quite fancy going for touch. So Bradford, a full set now inside the London half. They're playing it here on tackle 1 with Eben Sker. Sker, who's just come on the field here with Chris Hill very, very early in this game, as we see a no-look ball from Holmes into the arms there of Bailey Liu, the former Dewsbury Sheffield man. He's now held down in the tackle, wins a set restart for the Bulls, and Bradford have got another full set, 25 out from that London line. Is this the play? Is this the moment they look to execute and showcase their flair? Chris Hill, fresh off the interchange, takes 4 London players with him. That leaves them short on this main stand side, and that's where Lilly goes. Now to Keys. Keys, the former London man, drops the shoulder, takes the line on, 5 metres out, underneath the post. Lilly now to Hill. Hill draws in the defenders, gives it to Keys. Keys, crossfield kick, and Keys' crossfield kick is dealt with in goal by Liam Tyndall. And you've got to say, what was Joe Keys doing there with that crossfield kick? Because Liam Tyndall had all the time in the world, and no sooner as Liam Tyndall diffused that crossfield kick from Joe Keys, he now wins a penalty because Bailey Liu has thrown a punch in the tackle, according to referee Marcus Griffiths, and that is now 3 penalties that the Bulls have conceded in this opening quarter. 18 minutes gone here, and you've just seen the difference. And when you talk about Bradford having some critics on the sidelines, certainly there's no questioning they can play well for parts of games, but certainly there's been far too many times, and that was one that's perfectly highlighted there, where they've allowed errors and defensive lapses to benefit the opposition. So from going within 5 metres of that London line, London now inside the Bradford 20 with Conor O'Byrne to Paul Selly. Paul Selly has gone behind Fulton. He's allowed to continue. Now it's going to be Curtis Davis, wrapped up by Bailey Lou and Michael Lawrence. London supporters appealing for a penalty. 18 gone on the clock here. It's going to be Marcus Stock who gets entangled here with Lilly, Lawrence and Lou. Tackle to go here for the Broncos. They lead 6-0. They're right on top of that Bradford try line as Conor O'Byrne gets it. Passes back on the inside to Paul Selly. He kicks, chases his kick, and London are going to claim a try here. They're going to say Sadiq Adebayo's got it down, but referee Marcus Griffiths, he had the closest view of anybody. He will say Jaden Okimbo got there moments or fractions, milliseconds before Sadiq Adebayo. 6-0 to the Broncos it remains, but Bradford under all sorts of pressure here right at the start of this game. We're heading towards the end of the first quarter. London 6, Bradford 0 here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium on West Yorkshire Radio, West Yorkshire Rugby League. Don't forget, tomorrow we have an action-packed Super Sunday of Championship action for you, as Alex Walker now gives it to Natoli. Natoli, the 2 frees wrapped up. Blake wrapping Natoli up, 5 in from touch, 5 away from the line. Tyndall, the former Bradford Leeds man, gives it to O'Byrne. O'Byrne to Stock in centre field. And now there's a chance for London to set their stall out. They are 10 metres out, dead set central. 2 tackles to play with after forcing the goal line drop out. They come short side with O'Byrne. O'Byrne dummies it. Lily in Hill wrapped that one up, and that is tackle 4, 1 to go on this set. 20 minutes gone here, end of the first quarter. London 6, Bradford 0. As Lewis Beardek gives it to Stock, and Stock's wrapped up now on the last. Underneath the Bradford post, dead set central. It's going to go back to Paul Selly. He chances his arm, a crossfield kick towards the corner. Smith takes it, passes it back to Will Lovell. Will Lovell wrapped up and swarmed upon by George Tafua, Guy Armitage and Luke Cooley, and that is much, much better defensive effort there from the Bradford Bulls. Mike Eccles will be delighted with London's application thus far in this first quarter. Just the one error they'll be completing in the high 90s. Bradford playing the ball 10 out from their own line with Tafua. They're going to move it in centre field to Okimbo. Okimbo to Blake. Bradford have 4 ever presents in this game. Blake, Lilly, Fulton, Michael all started this game this afternoon, as Jaden Okimbo can't get past Bianek and Adebayo. And you've got to say at this moment in this game, London are dominating possession and territory. Bradford looking for a catalyst, looking for a spark. Fulton carries Bradford just outside the 20-metre line here, and they're on tackle 4. Lawrence down the middle. Last tackle coming up here for the Bulls, but they're 20 shy of halfway. So Lilly will kick from acting half, and once again that one has gone straight down the throat there of Liam Tyndall. A very, very soft kick, easy to deal with, and London now will start a full set just shy of the halfway line. Bradford's defence has to remain disciplined. They can't concede penalties or set restarts. They trail 6-0 here as O'Byrne gives it to Adebayo. Adebayo runs straight into heavy Bradford traffic. Chris Hill, Michael Lawrence, Jordan Lilly. 30 metres out, just to the left of centre field. Now there's a chance here for Ruggles. Ruggles to Paul Selly. Will Lovell dancing with Hill and Lawrence. And London find themselves on tackle 4, 20 metres out in front of the post. Conor O'Byrne inside the 20 to Walker, who kicks to Blake. Blake's come up with yet another error. A 4th error now from the Bulls, and tackle count will restart, although Marcus Griffiths is going to halt play here. He just takes a little bit of advice from Matty Lynn, and Matty Lynn will say Wonga Blake did come up with the error first. It was a double error, first by Bradford. London more pressure here on the Bradford line. Well, Bradford, after certainly, how can we say it? There's resilience, there's character, There's a lot of good attributes by Bradford on their defensive efforts, but unfortunately, Bradford being starved of possession due to their ill discipline with the penalties and the errors. So London with Jack Smith. He goes incredibly close to getting a second try and breaching Bradford's line. He's 2 metres shy of the line. They try to pinch one out of acting half. Referee says try, and I do believe London do have a second try, and that was despite the best efforts there of George Tafua and Guy Armitage. Not quite sure who the London player was because it happened in the blink of an eye. It looks like it might be number 4, Brandon Webster-Mansfield. We'll wait for the PA announcement. Jack Smith went very close. He was denied millimetres and inches. It is number 4, Webster-Mansfield, the Australian, on his 7th appearance, the former South Sydney West Tigers centre. His second try for the Broncos since answering the SOS from Mike Eccles. 24 minutes gone on the clock, and once again, don't want to sound like a broken record, but that soft underbelly there exposed, and Bradford, they've now got a lot of work to do to get back in this game. They've had no ball, no possession, no territory. The 2 times they've had territorial possession, there's been the Keys crossfield kick to Wokinbaugh. First time around nearly resulted in a try. Herculean heroic London defence. The second time no one read the script. Keys kicked it straight to Tyndall. Tyndall diffused and then won the penalty from Bailey Liu, but that was just a little bit too easy and too soft for Bradford's liking, and I'm sure Brian Noble will not be pleased with that defensive effort there. London up to double figures, 10 points to 0. Smith, can he add a crucial 2 points? He can. London Broncos 12. Bradford Bulls no score here at the Cherry Red Records Saturday afternoon Championship Rugby League. It is West Yorkshire Radio, Bradford Bulls TV, rugbyleague.com. And you've got to say, Webster Mansfield, to take Armitage and Tafua over the line with him, he has some strength. Well, this is not a good sign for Bradford. Guy Armitage down in back play receiving medical treatment. Clock is stopped. A few of the Bradford players have got hands on hips here. They've done a hell of a lot of defending, it must be said. Well, London are playing the energy game to perfection. It's been the kicking of Paul Selly and O'Byrne that has caused Bradford a whole host of issues and problems. So we're back underway here now. Armitage clear to continue. Hooley gets the restart away. Bradford will now surely try and hunt a London error here because they've had very, very little ball and possession at the London end of the field. It has all been the Broncos in the opening 25 minutes. 15 to go to half time. It is London 12, Bradford 0 if you are just joining us. London on the restart, moving the ball here with Lovell. Now it's going to be Rugless, the 24-year-old former Manly Sea Eagle. He'll play the ball 20 shy of halfway. Sadiq Adebayi on his return to action following the head injury assessment protocols. A great servant for London. Second spell at the club after playing for Wakefield and Keighley. And this is much better defensively from Bradford. London will kick from inside their own 30-metre line, so that will be a good indicator for Brian Noble and Lee Greenwood. The kick from Paul Selly, dealt with by Hooley. Hooley wrapped up tackle 1, 20 shy of halfway, centre field. Keys acting half to Wokinbaugh. And Jaden Wokinbaugh is rolled over 10 shy of halfway after a 10-metre carry. Once again, Keys goes a direct route now with Tafua. Tafua. 3 London defenders on him. The former Samoa Tongan international. A quick play of the ball. And now Keys looks to plot a course past the London defenders, but he's wrapped up there by Hersey Horden Adebayi on tackle 4. There's 1 to go on this set for Bradford. 12-0. The Bulls trail the Broncos here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. Chris Hill, the England international, who'll play the ball 30 metres out on the last. It'll be Holmes who tries a crossfield kick into the arms of Armitage, who takes it, but he's landed on his back, and he is tackled there by the try scorer Brandon Webster Mansfield and Jack Smith. Well, we did mention Guy Armitage was down in back play moments earlier, and he's down again here, and it's got to be the way he landed after taking that Tom Holmes crossfield kick. Immediately Luke Polselli raised the red flag and signalled the alarm, and on will come the Bradford physios and the doctor. Well, we've got time here, a bit of breaking play, hopefully nothing too serious for Guy Armitage, but London making 3 changes this afternoon. Will Lovell, the captain, alongside Sadiq Adebayi and Ben Hersey-Horde. London lining up with Alex Walker at fullback, wing 3-quarter line of Jack Smith, Ethan Natoli, Brandon Webster Mansfield and Liam Tyndall. The halves are Luke Polselli and Conor O'Byrne. Forwards Lewis Bionnet, Curtis Davis, Kobe Ruggles. Back rows, we said, Will Lovell and Sadiq Adebayi. Experience, energy to London's pack. Marcus Stock loose forward. Interchange bench, Ted Davidson, Tommy Porter, Jedson Monk and Ben Hersey-Horde. Guy Armitage, for the second time in 2 minutes, gets the all clear from the physios. So we're back underway here. We've got 12 minutes to go to half time here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium in Wimbledon, the home of Wimbledon AFC. And a chance here now for Bradford to try and hunt and probe a London error. But London, as we said, they're completing at 94%. They've just made one error whole game as we approach the 30-minute mark. And those are the high standards that Mike Eccles will be absolutely delighted and proud upon. Starve your opponents, don't give them any cheap opportunities or chances. Curtis Davis along the line now to Lovell. Lovell's 5 inside the Bradford half of the field. Paul Selly to Walker. Walker to O'Byrne. They're going to go to Adebayi, the Nigerian, and Sadiq Adebayi is brought down on the last tackle 30 metres out from the Bradford line. Curtis Davis acting half. Game management here from O'Byrne. He will target Hooley. And look at that black-shirted London defence as Hooley passes in centre field. Bit of a high-risk one there from Hooley, but Tafua has managed to keep possession, and he's wrapped down there, 12 out from his own try line. So as we head towards the 30th minute here, it is those early tries in that first quarter from Luke Polselli and then Brandon Webster Mansfield. Certainly Bradford in a real arm wrestle here in the South London sunshine. Holmes out of acting half to Chris Hill. Chris Hill, on what is his 4th appearance, offloads the ball to Holmes. Holmes to Fulton. Fulton back to Holmes. Good bit of second phase play here for Bradford as it ends up from Fulton to Blake. Wonga Blake, the Fijian, is on halfway, and now it's going to be Eben Skur straight down the middle. Beats 1, beats 2. Passes to Lawrence. 20 metres made there on that play from Skur and Lawrence. 30 out on the last. Keys targets Tyndall once again. Tyndall takes this one. Holmes tries to pinch the ball one-on-one, but Liam Tyndall under pressure there from Holmes, Fulton and Keys. He does exceptionally well, the former Bradford man. Luke Polselli, the standoff half for the Broncos, is just interfering with play. He gets up a little bit gingerly, a little bit groggily, and referee Marcus Griffiths is going to stop the clock. So, just under 10 minutes to go here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. Mick the Game Caller Gleddle, Saturday afternoon, Championship Rugby League, the penultimate round in the Championship season. And as we said, tomorrow we have a whole host of action and updates for your listening pleasure. We've got Hunslet against Sheffield, Doncaster York, Halifax Widnes, the big one at the Share, and it's Featherstone Rovers against Oldham. Well, Bradford just settling into this game now after that start from the Broncos as Sadiq Adebayi makes 15 metres forward. Referee Marcus Griffiths is having a look at this one, and he will say he is held up, and that was the last. And we're back underway here with Bradford playing the ball 30 metres out. So London just running the ball in on the power play as we see Mitch Suter come on the field here for Jordan Lilly. Certainly Mitch Suter, a big role to play. He will come off the bench. and he will inject pace, energy and guile into the Bulls' attack. Let's see what Mitch Suter can do. He's not had the ball yet, but he will now, because Zach Fulton is on halfway, just to the right of centre field. London also ringing the changes with Jensen Monk and Ben Hersey-Horde coming on the field. Suter to Keys to Holmes. Holmes brought down by Bienek and Lovell. Tackle 4 for the Bradford Bulls as the former Warrington, Salford, Oldham man, Musgrove. Keys kicks on the last, looking for Ockimbo. Ockimbo has it, palms it to Suter, and Suter tries to breach the London line, but that is last grass defence there from the London Broncos. The crossfield kick there from Keys to Ockimbo, it did nearly pay dividends. Alex Walker, Sadiq Adebayi, the London defence, stopping Mitch Suter. Well, London stood around there almost expecting a whistle from Marcus Griffiths to perhaps say the ball had gone forward, but the touch judges were happy that Ockimbo had palmed the ball back, and this is much better from Bradford here. London finding it a little bit tougher with Chris Hilsey, Musgrove, Eben Sker on the field. We've got 7 to go to half time. It's still London 12, Bradford 0. Could be a rare scoreless first half for Bradford here, as London are trapped firmly deep inside their own half. They're on the last tackle, playing it 30 metres out, so it will be boot to ball from Paul Selleck. He kicks towards Tafua. Tafua with strapping on the left knee and ankle carries Bradford 8 shy of halfway. There's a big moment coming up in this game here as we head towards half time. Mitch Suter having that ability to come up with those crucial game-changing plays. He gives it to Hooley. Hooley along the line to Blake. Blake wrapped up by Adebayi and O'Byrne. And the 5 inside the London half with 3 tackles remaining on this set of 6 here as Zach Fulton's caught high. And Zach Fulton just taking a straight arm there from Conor O'Byrne and Kobe Ruggles. 3 penalties apiece given by the Widnesian Marcus Griffiths. As we said, it's his first Bradford game of 2025. And Bradford now, with just over 5 minutes to go to half time, they will have a full set, 20 out from that London line. They have not been here for nearly 15 minutes or so. Eben Sker tackle 1, drives the ball forward. It's going to be Suter at acting half to Hill. Hill now to Keys. They go on the left with Holmes. Holmes kicks through to Armitage, and Guy Armitage will latch on to that kick into the London Broncos in goal area, and Guy Armitage, try 16 of the season. He scored on his Bradford debut against London at Odsall back in round 1. And Guy Armitage, he loves scoring against the London Broncos. He has got a crucial try here for the Bradford Bulls here in the 35th minute as we head towards half time. It's London 12, Bradford 4. And you've got to say, we've not got the best vantage point here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. We're very, very shallow, very, very low near pitch side. But Tom Holmes, he just had a millisecond glance up and he realised that Webster Mansfield, Walker and Smith were all out of position, and there was a lot of green space in that left-hand corner. So, Guy Armitage, hat-trick against Sheffield on Bradford's last away visit, and he now has 4 tries in 2 away games. The 33-year-old spent 4 seasons at Toulouse. Certainly, you've got to feel that the defeat to Toulouse last week would sting a little bit more for the former Toulouse centre who spent 4 seasons in the south of France. Luke Cooley, still the championship's best conversion rate scorer. 53 successes from 62, kicking at 86%. He was 3 from 5 against Toulouse. He's 15 in from touch. Kick predictor here, 79%. And Luke Cooley adds a crucial extra 2. It's a battle royal here in southwest London at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. London Broncos 12, Bradford Bulls 6. Armitage with try 16 of the season. Hulick converts, and this certainly gives Brian Noble and the Bulls something to work with. And you've just got to say here, Zach Fulton did well to win that penalty, but Mitch Suter, he's come off the bench, and he's certainly injecting that pace, that energy. Well, London Broncos have just compounded themselves after that penalty with another one, with the restart sailing straight out on the full. And with 2 minutes to go to half-time here, Bradford are going to have another full set of 6, 20 metres out from that London line. Blake taps it. Bradford have a bit of urgency to their play. They're down by 12 points to 6, and we have seconds left at the end of this first half. Hill plays it tackle 2. Now it's going to be Keys who takes the London line on, and Joe Keys, he glides past Sadiq Adebayi. He takes Ethan Natoli over the line, and Joe Keys, who spent the early part of his career at London, the Enfield-born London Academy product, he has finally reached 500 career points for the Bulls, make it 501. He went into this game on 497. He's now on 501, and Bradford have just hit the bullseye with the half-time hooter imminent. 2 tries in 2 minutes. The Bulls have woken up, and Luke Hulick, an opportunity now from this main stand corner to draw Bradford level right on the stroke of half-time. So Armitage and Keys, back-to-back scores for Brian Noble's side. 2 crucial scores, it must be said. London, they've now got the gremlins that Bradford started the game with. They've come up with the errors, they've conceded the penalties, and credit where credit's due, the Bradford Bulls have capitalised on those London gifts. We mentioned pre-match about Jake Shorrocks kicking out on the full twice, and 2 Toulouse errors inside their 20-metre line last Saturday at Barnacard Odsall. Bradford, poor execution and an inability to take the chances last Saturday, but here in London they have done. And the kick predictor, 15 metres in from touch once again, it is saying 84%. Hooter imminent. Can Luke Cooley draw the Bulls level? He's just pushed it to the right hand side of the post, and with just seconds and moments remaining here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium, it is London Broncos 12, the Bradford Bulls 10 here. Well, Joe Keys, try number 5 of the season. Will he score a more important score in Bradford's season? Because Bradford full of belief and confidence at the end of this first half. West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com, Bulls TV back underway here. This time London do keep the ball in the field of play, and it's Jaden Ockimbaugh, the former Canterbury Bulldogs man, who will play the ball 10 metres out. Here goes Musgrove. Second appearance for him. Made his debut against Toulouse last week. The former South Sydney West Tigers man. He makes huge metres down the middle of the field. Suter, quick ball to Hill. Hill is wrapped up there, and it's another penalty here because Conor O'Byrne, he is arguing the decision here, but Marcus Griffiths diffuses it and says another penalty to Bradford. And there's a chance here now with the hooter imminent. Bradford are going to have one final play. So there's one final play for Bradford. The hooter has sounded. They're going to allow... No, the officials say no. It is half-time. So the 21-year-old former Leeds Academy loanee, Jack Smith, has the ball on the kicking tee. He had a loan spell at Bradford at the back end of last season under Eamon O'Carroll, and he puts boot to ball, and it has just gone 5 o'clock here on West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com. Those watching on Bulls TV, it's Mick the Game Caller Gledall, Saturday afternoon Rugby League, and Bradford with still a lot of work to do, but I guess the urgency to change the scoreboard isn't as apparent as it was when they were trailing 12-0. Already we've seen 2 big strong carries. Holmes on tackle 3. Bradford 15 shy of halfway. Suter out of acting half to Hill to Musgrove. Musgrove a big don't argue. There's been a collision here between a Bradford man, Zane Musgrove, and a London player, and immediately Marcus Griffiths is going to stop the clock. Not quite sure who the London player is, but he is absolutely flat out on his back, and it was a bit of a head collision between Zane Musgrove and that unnamed London man. So we'll quickly go through the 2 sides once again for those that are joining us on rugbyleague.com here. As we said, it's just gone 5 on Saturday the 6th of September. London making 3 changes as Will Lovell, the London captain, comes in with Sadiq Adebayi and Ben Hersey-Horde. Alex Walker, fullback for the Broncos. Wing 3-quarter line of Jack Smith, Ethan Natoli, Brandon Webster-Mansfield and Liam Tyndall. The halves are Luke Paulselli and Conor O'Byrne. Forwards Lewis Bionet, Curtis Davis, Kobe Ruggles. Back row Will Lovell, Sadiq Adebayi and Marcus Stockley. Interchanges Ted Davidson, Tommy Porter, Jedson Monk and Ben Hersey-Horde. Bradford making 2 changes. George Tafua for Kieran Gill, Bailey Liu for the injured Matty G. So it's Luke Hooley at fullback, wing 3-quarter line of Jaden Ockenbaugh, Wonga Blake, Guy Armitage and George Tafua. The halves Tom Holmes and Joe Keys. The forwards Michael Lawrence, Jordan Lillick, Logan Bayliss. Back row Zach Fulton, Bailey Liu and Ronan Michael. And on the interchange bench for the Bradford Bulls, Eben Skirmich, Suter, Zane Musgrove and Chris Hill. So the London player is patched up and we are good to go. Bradford on halfway, on the last, right at the start of this second half. Joe Keys targets some space. Alex Walker has to take that one under pressure from Armitage and Suter, and it remains London Broncos 12, Bradford Bulls no score. Bradford Bulls 10 here, no score in the start of the second half. Nearly give people some palpitations there. London 12, Bradford 10, no score at the start of the second half. That's what I meant to say. It's a lovely early autumn afternoon stroke evening here. The sun still bearing down here at this impressive stadium. Bradford's line speed and defence on point at the start of the second half. Porter out of acting half, gives it to Monk. Jensen Monk's wrapped up 25 shy of halfway. Good defence from Bradford. Conor O'Byrne under pressure here from Musgrove. Kicks straight down the throat of Tafua on this main stand side. And George Tafua now will turn defence into attack. The Australian only making his 8th appearance of the season, George Tafua. He did pick up that injury in round 3 in that heavy defeat to Toulouse. So he's looking to make up for lost time as Jaden Ockenbaugh plays the ball on halfway. Suter to Skur. Skur back to Suter. Suter to Holmes. Holmes with a half chance, but Will Lovell slams the door shut on the former Huddersfield and Castleford man. Here goes Chris Hill down the middle. He draws in that defence. Tackle not completed. Hooley has it, and Hooley sets his sights on that London try line. And Luke Hooley has been held down in the tackle, and it's a set restart here to the Bradford Bulls. It's their 3rd of the afternoon, their 1st in this second half, and Bradford now have an opportunity to punish London's ill discipline as Bailey Liu cuts through a line, but it's Paulselli who wraps the Kiwi up. Eben Skur right on top of that London try line, twisting, turning, cannot get the ball down. Bradford's homegrown forward plays it quick. Musgrove denied. Exceptional goal line defence here from the Broncos, led there by Will Lovell, the Broncos captain. Back to the 10 they go. Centre field. Keys to Hill. Hill smuggles the ball out again. Now to Suter. Suter with a guile to Keys. Keys is putting on the dinner jacket. Dancing feet. Crossfield kick. And George Tafua has knocked the ball on over the line with the line begging. Chance gone begging there for the Bradford Bulls. Guy Armitage just giving George Tafua a pat on the back there. And you've got to say, Bradford very, very dangerous moving that ball around there, giving it some good spread like the butter on the toast, and very nearly resulting in a 3rd try. Well, Bradford's first error of the second half will be George Tafua not able to take that crossfield kick in. He had gone past Jack Smith, and if he takes it, he's in at the corner. So a chance not fully executed there by the Bulls, but this is definitely a strong start to second half here. Holmes and Liu in defence. And now it's going to be Wonga Blake who's just shot out of the defensive line and nearly allows Tyndall a path past Suter and Fulton. Quick play the ball from the former Bradford man, Liam Tyndall, as London play numbers. And here's the 21-year-old Jack Smith, goes past Holmes, over halfway. Suter and Armitage bring down Paul Selleck. Bradford all at sea defensively. London composed. They're moving it over on that left-hand side. And there's a chance here for one of their young homegrown players, Ted Davidson, who made his full debut last weekend in that big win over Batley. The 10 metres out now, the Broncos. 12 points to 10. They lead the Bulls. Rugless. Paul Selleck back on the inside. Door slam shut there by Mitch Suter, who is having a very good game since coming on. London on the last with Walker. Walker, though, is going to be trapped there by Hill and Sker and Musgrove. Heavy traffic stuff there from the London Broncos fullback Alex Walker. So Bradford's defence on point right at the start of this second half. London 12, Bradford 10. It's the penultimate round of the championship season. Certainly London looking to sign off their campaign with their highest attendance of the season on a game that has been billed as a charity fundraiser for the blood cancer charity DKMS. A lot of money made this afternoon as Bradford kick early on tackle 4. Keys 40-20. Joe Keys. It's a 35-5. Bradford will have a repeat set from the boot of Joe Keys. 10 metres out. 5 minutes gone at the start of this second half. Bradford an opportunity here to take the lead for the first time. No real urgency from the Bulls. London just trotting back on their own try line. You've got to say the Leeds Academy youngster Jack Smith out of position there. Joe Keys influencing and organising. What can the Bulls do here then? It's going to be Suter to Hill. Hill gives the ball to Fulton. Fulton's wrapped up and pushed back in the field of play. Chance denied there for the former Manly man. Here goes Musgrove towards the London line, wrapped up there by Rugless. It's another set restart conceded as Suter over the London line. Can he get it down? Marcus Griffiths says no. Alex Walker has denied Mitch Suter. That's 4 set restarts now that the Broncos have conceded. 2 in the first half, 2 right at the start of the second half. Tackle count continues. Suter plays the ball 10 metres out as Joe Keys. Oh, he's the ghost. You're going to have to nickname him the Invisible Man, because while London was setting their defensive lineup, Joe Keys from 10 metres out, he scooped the ball up out of acting half and he has just walked past some non-existent Broncos defence. It's 2 in the capital against his former club for Enfield-born Joe Keys. Try number 6 of the season, and right at the start of this second half, wizardry and magic from Joe Keys. Mike Eccles will be absolutely filthy that Bradford have just allowed Joe Keys to waltz in unopposed. Well, a famous Bradford player back in the day, Michael Withers, was nicknamed the Ghost. I think Joe Keys might be getting the name the Invisible Man, because he really did make it look that easy. From 10 metres out, Suter held up. Nobody was waiting for London to set their defensive stall. Bradford taking the game to the Broncos. And referee Marcus Griffiths, he was, play the ball, Mitch. And it was Keys who just went unopposed. There were 6 or 7 black-shirted Broncos players. Whether they thought the official was going to bring play back, you play to the whistle, and Keys has pinched one right at the start of this second half. And Hooley, with the kick predicted 100%, adds a crucial 2 points. London Broncos 12, Bradford Bulls 16. A second try of the afternoon for Joe Keys against his former club. Luke Hooley goes out to 2 from 3. And that was much, much better there from the Bradford Bulls. West Yorkshire Radio, West Yorkshire Rugby League, rugbyleague.com. Mick the Game Caller Gledhill here. Bulls TV, once again syndicated around the world. And it is looking likely, if this continues, Brian Noble will be able to watch this second half from the back of the main stand, where he's just sat about 8 seats to the right of our commentary position here. Suter out of acting half on the restart. Beats 1, beats 2. Irrepressive running from Suter. He's brought down just shy of halfway, and that's what Mitch Suter brings. Well, that's 3 set restarts right at the start of the second half. London have conceded a 5th set restart, and that was down to the pace from Mitch Suter. He really is changing this game and the momentum. Suter to Holmes. Holmes goes past Lovell, finds Hooley. Hooley down the middle. You almost feel Bradford building here at the start of this second half. If they could go back to back, that would be a big confidence booster. It would certainly shock the Broncos, who were leading 12-0 for 35 minutes in that first half. Suter now to Keys, to Fulton. Fulton head down towards the line. Last grasp defence there from the Broncos. Quick play the ball. Suter to Blake. Blake, can he get it down? He's got it down. Referee Marcus Griffiths points the finger. 800 Bradford fans dance in the South London sunshine. Bradford go back to back, and it's Mitch Suter who is injecting the pace, the energy into this Bradford attack. We mentioned not just Mitch, but Joe, Hooley. A lot of players have that ability to come up with a crucial game-changing plays, but it is that irrepressive sniping, that irrepressive running from Mitch Suter that has turned this game on the head. London, they have just collapsed, and they are leaking points and sinking fast. You simply cannot hold down in the tackle. Marcus Griffiths, a lot of Super League experience recently. He happy to just give the set restarts to Bradford. Bradford happy to surge forward. We've had 50 minutes gone here, 10 at the start of this second half, and that was a lovely put down under pressure. There was 3 London defenders there around Wonga Blake. He now has try number 13 of the season, and he's already got 18 try assists, so if you add it all together, he's contributed 31 scores to the Bulls. Well, I remember speaking to Wonga Blake pre-season. He said he wants to be the Championship's best centre, and with the form he's having this year, he's almost certainly going to be in the media's Championship Team of the Year. 15 in from touch, far stand side. Bradford lead by 8 all of a sudden. 20 unanswered points in 15 minutes. It's been a remarkable turnaround for the Bradford Bulls. Kick predictor 86%. Hooley to add another 2 points, which he does. London Broncos 12, Bradford Bulls 22. Armitage, a brace from Keys, and now Blake getting on the try scoring. West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com, Bradford Bulls TV. London Broncos now have to chase this energised Bradford side and the scoreboard. A very, very confident, composed, professional last 15 minutes, if you include the 5 to half time and the opening 10 of this second half. Bradford have proven they can cut through this London defence, apply pressure and capitalise. The execution for Joe Keys and that Wonga Blake try, up there with some of the best we've seen. London not letting Bradford just roll over. From the restart now, Hooley has it just outside the Bradford 20 metre line. Will Lovell comes in with Webster Mansfield. Suter acting half. Down the middle it's going to go with Musgrove. Tex Lovell and the youngster Tommy Porter, one of 4 homegrown players. in this London side as Suter now to Lou, to Fua up and over halfway. Bradford, 5 inside the London half on the last. Holmes to Keys. Perfectly timed, perfectly weighted. Suter chases this one. Wraps up Walker inside the 10. Good kick from Keys. Good chase from Suter. Paulselli acting half to Smith. Well, there's a bit of a size match there, mismatch, because Musgrove and Hill have absolutely crunched and munched and eaten the young Leeds 21-year-old up there. And he's walking off towards the touchline a little bit gingerly here. He'll feel that one. Porter acting half to Bienek. He goes surging forward, but there's no real momentum here from the Broncos. What could Conor O'Byrne do? Walker has it. Ball's gone straight into touch here, but Ethan Natoli has been taken out off the ball. Referee Marcus Griffiths giving the Broncos a penalty here. And I think the message from Marcus Griffiths here to Wonga Blake is it was just fractionally late. Bradford remain at 13, but Marcus Griffiths giving Wonga Blake a very, very stern telling off and lecture here for that late tackle on the Italian international, Ethan Natoli. So if you are joining us at the start of the second half from rugbyleague.com, hopefully you've enjoyed the Super League commentary from Costo. We're now here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. 13 gone in this second half, and we might have a thriller here. London an opportunity on the Bradford line after that penalty that Wonga Blake conceded. Lewis Bienek wins a 6 again here inside the Bradford 10. It's going to be O'Byrne to Stock. That's Bradford's second 6 again they've conceded. Porter. Well, that's a sloppy, scrubby ball, but somehow London keep possession here with Paulselli, and Paulselli drops the shoulder, but he's just run straight into Suter and Fulton, the two Australians. They'll be looking to play a big part at the Bulls next season. London with Kobe Rugless. Had a couple of games for Salford a month or two back, whilst in dispute with Hunsley, now at London. And this is exceptional defence here from the Bulls. We've praised London's goal line defence. Bradford committing 3 or 4 as Tommy Porter tries to pinch one out of acting half. They're on the last tackle here. They're 2 metres out, the Broncos. Walker kicks into the in-goal area. It's picked up by Skerr. And Eben Skerr, with those pool table legs, he takes tackle 1 on a fresh set here for the Bradford Bulls. Well, Bradford were trailing 12-0. They have turned it around, but they've just come up with a penalty with Wonga Blake, and now Jaden Okinbaugh has come up with Bradford's 7th error of the afternoon. And the cries of London, London, over 3,000 tickets sold for this one. London's biggest crowd of the season in attendance here. The Bull supporters are here in big numbers after travelling down the East Coast. And that's counteracted with cries of Yorkshire. Good-natured fun here on what is a very, very charitable day. Can London capitalise on that charitable error? They're in. They're not in. Who was that? Guy Armitage. Lascraft's defence. And now they're away here. Chris Hill's pinched the ball. Can he do it himself? Gives it in field to Tom Holmes. Well, that's going to be very difficult to describe, because London thought they were in here with Alex Walker. He was short of the line. He gifted possession to Chris Hill. And Chris Hill ran it 40 metres upfield. So London coming up with a couple of quick-fire errors. And Bradford, they were expected to do some more defending, but as it is, they're inside the London half, or just shy of the London half here with Fulton. They're now inside the London half with Suter, who gives the ball to Skerr. 40 metres out from that London line. We've had 16 gone at the start of this second half. Good game management from Joe Keys. Kicks into touch on that far stand side. No real pressure there. No real need to do anything other than that will turn the London Broncos around 10 metres out from their own line. Clever kick there from Keys. Well, we've still got 23 minutes to go in this game, and you're almost kinda weighing up the options for the man of the match between Joe Keys and Mitch Souter. But Chris Hill and Zach Fulton deserve to be in there as well for their defensive efforts and running game. Chris Hill's offload game, he must be in double figures. London 12, Bradford 22 here now. Will Lovell tries to go past Armitage, and Holmes has to play the ball on halfway. Paul Selleck, O'Byrne. Ball knocked on by the youngster Ted Davidson. It's another error from the Broncos. It's their fourth in this second half. There's a break in play here. 22 to go. Scrum head and feet to Bradford. You could see what the Broncos were trying to do there. They were looking to put pressure on both Fulton and Blake. But unfortunately for London Broncos and the head coach Mike Eccles, the 21-year-old youngster Ted Davidson just couldn't take that ball in. This one is not over by any imagination. Brian Noble about to bring back on Michael Lawrence, and certainly, as we know in rugby league circles, it's the captains who so often set the standard for their teams. Their influence, and Michael Lawrence's influence, simply cannot be underestimated. So Bradford with Mitch Souter now as Michael Lawrence comes on the field. They're 15, make that 20 metres inside the London half on the London 30. It's Lawrence on the field for Sker, and here's Michael Lawrence, fresh off the interchange bench, carrying Bradford just shy of the London 20 metre line. Souter now inside the 20 to Keys, Keys to Hooley. Hooley dumped on his back, but someone's been taken out late, and it's the Italian international Ethan Natoli. He has gone in late on Wonga Blake, so we saw Blake go on Natoli earlier. The Bull supporters booing and jeering. They're wanting a card. Referee Marcus Griffiths will say fair is fair. Blake got Natoli 90 seconds ago, and now it's Natoli getting Blake. Bradford leading the penalty count, 7 penalties to 4 now, and there's a chance here for the Bulls with a penalty 10 metres out as we head towards the hour mark. Keys gives it to Hill. Big, strong, physical, industrious forward. A big powerhouse for the Bulls. His experience, leadership will be vital in the playoff games. Ronan Michaels just come off the interchange bench as well. So fresh legs, fresh energy. The Ireland international plays the ball 2 metres out from the line. Keys to Holmes. Holmes to Lou. Bailey Lou wrapped up there. Good, suffocating, hungry London Broncos defence. It's London 12, Bradford 22. 22 unanswered points from the Bulls have them in a very, very healthy, commanding position. They're on the last tackle in front of the post. It goes to Keys, now to Hooley. Hooley crossfield kick, looks for Ockenbaugh. Ockenbaugh nearly takes it and crosses it at the corner. He can't quite take in that crossfield kick from Hooley. He's denied under good defensive pressure from Liam Tyndall. Bradford's 8th error of the afternoon. A 20 metre restart here in a 6 tackle set for the Broncos. 21 minutes to go here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. Well, the next try here as we head towards the final quarter, the final 20 minutes, absolutely crucial. As we said, Bradford was 2 tries in the closing 5 minutes of the first half, and then the 2 tries in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. 22 unanswered points. They do have a lead of 10, but London will be looking to try and get themselves back in this game, and it's going to be Lewis Bierneck who beats 1, beats 2. Walker has it. Walker kicks into space, but Luke Hooley does well to track back and alleviate the pressure. Well, you've just seen there what Alex Walker can do. he has the skills to be a thorn in this Bradford Bulls side with that probing and dissecting runs and kicking game. But Bradford alert to the danger there from Alex Walker. Luke Cooley tracking back. Bradford in possession here. We've just hit the hour mark. 20 to go. 20 minutes for Bradford to hold on. They lead by 10. 22 points to 12. They've got it. 10 out from their own try line. It's now Suter to Michael. Michael carries Bradford just outside their own 20. Good defensive set here from London. They're going to kick here on tackle number 4. So Keys kicks early. And it's gone into the London 20-metre line. So a good kick there from Joe Keys. Tyndall traps the ball with a boot. Picks it up. And is looking at some imposing red, amber and black shirted defence of Lawrence Suter and Armitage. The former Bradford loanee who has had a loan spell at the Bulls in the last 3 seasons gets to his feet. He'll play it 20 shy halfway. Tackle 1. Kobe Ruggles passes off the floor. Officials say play on. Ronan Michael just goes below the shoulder. Referee Marcus Griffiths momentarily looked like he was going to give the Broncos a penalty. Non forthcoming. And here goes Jack Smith now, 5 shy of halfway. London running out of tackles. And that's a sloppy pass from Paul Selleck. Goes to O'Byrne. Now it's going to go over on that left-hand side here to Davidson. And Davidson's done well. Draws in Ockimbaugh and Keys. They are heading towards the Bradford 20-metre line with Paul Selleck to Lovell. And they're on the last tackle here, the Broncos. Will Lovell plays it. Paul Selleck has it. He's going to put kick chase pressure on Tafua and Hooley. Bounce of the ball. Not kind for London. It bounced into space. You wanted it to go back towards the chasing duo of Smith and Webster Mansfield. Unfortunately, that one just had a little bit too much on it. Referee Marcus Griffiths is going to send a London player to the sin bin here for delaying the restart. So London are down to 12 men here. And it's one of those 2 London chasers who were chasing that kick from Paul Selleck. It's Brandon Webster Mansfield, the former West Tigers South Sydney centre, who's been sent to the sin bin. So that will not please Mike Eccles. That was a professional foul. I must confess, I was just looking at the error in the penalty count. Didn't quite see what he did, but he has been sent to the sin bin, as now Bradford are up and over halfway with Hooley. Hooley to Armitage. Armitage centre field. Armitage will do it himself, will he? Armitage! Armitage with a breathtaking individual score. Joe Keys 2 tries. Guy Armitage 2 tries. Take a bow, Luke Hooley. He started that break and it was finished by Guy Armitage. 17th try of the season. We mentioned pre-match he likes scoring against the Broncos. He's now got 6 tries in his last 4 meetings with the men from the capital. And you've got to say, in the 64th minute, with London's ill discipline costing them a man in the sin bin, and Bradford exploiting that left-hand edge where Brandon Webster Mansfield would have been positioned and placed, Bradford have further extended their lead, and it's 26 points to 12. Well, those watching on Bradford Bulls TV in the future, they will be in awe of that score from Guy Armitage. Well, we spoke about a number of players here who have that energy and lightning pace and the ability to probe and dissect the opposition defence. Well, Guy Armitage, he had 3 London players chasing him back, and it was a valiant effort from standoff half Luke Paul Selleck. The Australian very nearly caught Guy Armitage, but it was like the lucky fish escaping the fisherman's net. Guy Armitage just leapt clear of the arms as they were closing down from behind him. And you'll see what I mean when that one is on the highlights reel. A truly spectacular score. Hooley, kick predictor here, 86%. We've got 14 minutes to go here. And a chance for Luke Hooley to add another 2 points on the board, which he does. London Broncos 12, Bradford Bulls 28. This one is blowing out here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. 28 unanswered points now scored by Brian Noble and the Bradford Bulls. You almost get the feeling if they don't take the foot off the gas, there could be more points and more damage inflicted on the London Broncos in front of their highest crowd of the season. So it's West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com, Bulls TV. Bradford come up with an error on the restart. The Gremlins, they're still there. Jaden Okinbaugh just looks up to the heavens, looks to the ground. He wants the ground to open him up and swallow him whole. London have been given a sniff. And I'm kind of guessing when we speak to Brian in around half an hour's time, I know he wanted and asked for a dominant game from the start and to control it for the full 80 minutes. It's fair to say Bradford have done that for around 40 to 45 minutes thus far. But certainly London not giving up the ghost here after forcing that error. Alex Walker drops it off to Jack Smith. He's over the Bradford line, and look at this defence from Bradford trying to force Jack Smith dead in goal. Referee Marcus Griffiths' whistle will halt Smith, and he'll halt the London attack. They'll go back to the 10, held up in goal. And it is going to be O'Byrne now, who draws in Lawrence, finds Paul Selly, and Paul Selly to Walker. London are in at the corner here with former Bradford man Liam Tyndall. Listen to the noise, the roof takes off, and it's Liam Tyndall who takes off down that far stand touchline. Bradford, they can't rest on the laurels. London not giving this one up, and that was good passing between Paul Selly and O'Byrne. Walker went into that Bradford defensive line. Wonga Blake, Jaden Okinbaugh out of position. They couldn't shift across, and it's 16 points to 28. Big kick coming up here for young Jack Smith. There's still time on the clock. There's 11 minutes to go, just over 10 left. Bradford 28, London 16. A third score, and it's Liam Tyndall, London's leading try scorer, with 13 tries now. He was a try scorer last Saturday afternoon at Mount Pleasant. Kick predictor, it's at 71%. The 21-year-old in the sunshine, against the wind. It's there, it's good. We've got a 10-point game here with 10 minutes to go. Strap yourselves in, this one's not over, you feel. London Broncos 18, Bradford Bulls 28. Liam Tyndall, the former Bradford man, coming up with the goods there against his former club. How's the nerves for the final 10 minutes? London score next. It's going to be a very, very nervy final end to this game. West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com. We're back underway here via the boot of Luke Hooley. And there's an opportunity here now for London that can smell perhaps a little bit of blood. And I think Brian Noble will be a little bit frustrated with Bradford having that numerical advantage. London made it look and seem apparent that it was Bradford who had the 12 men. London still down to 12 men, remember. Brandon Webster Mansfield, the Australian centre, in the bin for a professional foul, delaying the restart, was referee Marcus Griffiths' call. London now 10 shy of halfway. O'Byrne thought about the ball to Stock, but takes the line on himself. Bradford defending well. London kept inside their own half. They'll kick from their 40-metre line. Paul Selly. This one's going high to Fua. Takes that one in the shadows of this impressive main stand here. The home of AFC Wimbledon and the London Broncos. Tackle 1, Hooley to Okinbaugh. Tackle 2, 15 shy of halfway. Bradford just need to play down time here. The lead by 10. And I don't want to turn all Mystic Meg, but a few people this week have asked me, what's your score prediction, Michael? And I did actually tell numerous people, 28 points to 18. But here goes Armitage. Armitage inside support from Hooley. Hooley is going to cross the London line. There's a flare-up and a punch-up in back play. Try not being given here. Marcus Griffiths is going to have to stop the game, is it? Well, Michael Lawrence is just moving Tom Holmes away from everybody. Well, Marcus Griffiths, has he given the try? Yeah, he's giving the try to Luke Hooley. That's game, set and match now to Bradford. Luke Hooley, try number 8 of the season from him. And a very, very special moment. He always says there's Luke Hooley, someone who has come through the Bradford Bulls Academy. He feels he owes this club something special, especially after having to leave during a previous administration event. Spells at Leeds, Castleford, Batley, Wakefield. That's the moment. And it was Guy Armitage's break. Not quite sure what happened in back play. I was watching Hooley cross, but that was a very good depth score. What we mean by depth, Bradford from 45 metres out have taken London's right edge defence on again. Brandon Webster-Mansfield about to come out of the sin bin here. Bradford scoring 2 tries while London down to 12. And that was a very, very clever play, clever move. Luke Hooley. It was apparent when he joined the club for his first outing, his debut against Salford in the Challenge Cup back in March, that infectious, energetic support play and that lightning speed is certainly an asset and a tribute that Bradford and Brian Noble will want. Kick predictor here, 92%. Hooley converts. London Broncos 18, Bradford Bulls 34 here. We have 7 minutes to go at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. And you've got to say, despite Liam Tyndall giving London a little glimmer of hope there to narrow the gap to 10, Bradford's 6th score of the afternoon in the sunshine has firmly put this one to bed, you feel. West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com. Bulls TV, another error from Bradford. They're in double figures now. Zach Fulton and Wonga Blake letting that one. A boomerang-style restart from Alex Walker. It's gone into touch. Well, I tell you what, Manny Lynn's just dropped the flag and he's thrown the ball nearly 50 metres into centre field. He's still got it. So, 6 to go on the clock. Bradford lead at 34-18. Are London about to narrow the gap again? Paul Selly's inside the 10. Takes the line on. Tom Holmes lassoes him down to the ground. Logan Bayliss back out here for the closing moments of this one. Here goes Marcus Stop to Kobe Ruggles. Penalty to the London Broncos. Bradford penalised for being offside inside the 10. 7 penalties to 5 now. Well, London, it's no good going for 2 points, but they are just waiting a moment here with Curtis Davis. He'll finally tap the ball and he'll give it to Marcus Stock. So just over 5 to go here. It's been a very, very professional second half showing from the Bulls, and now Ronan Michael has picked up a loose carry here from Conor O'Byrne, but the officials are going to say Ronan Michael was the player who knocked it out of Conor O'Byrne's grasp. Well, Conor O'Byrne, he'll be here at London next season. Certainly answered Mike Eccles' SOS to join the London Broncos at the start of the season. Bradford 34, London 18, and here he is, O'Byrne. Wrapped up 5 out from the Bradford line after that error from Ronan Michael. They're on tackle 1. Another set restart. Tackle count goes back to 1 here with Lewis Bierneck. So there's still going to be work for Brian Noble and Lee Greenwood to do regarding this Bradford performance. not polished and not perfect by any imagination. London win another set restart. It's getting very messy under the post here with Lewis Bienek. And London, with Walker, they go out wide to Tyndall again, and Tyndall's in! 2 tries in 5 minutes for Liam Tyndall. And the scoreboard narrows again. The gap's down to 12. Less than 5 remaining on the clock. You are talking miracles. But are London about to deliver a rugby league miracle here? There's still time. Liam Tyndall now up to 14 scores for the Broncos in 2025. One of London's leading lights in his 22nd appearance of the season. He made 23 appearances for Leeds over 3 years. He made 4 appearances for Bradford last season in the 2024 year under Eamon O'Carroll. And he'll enjoy that one against his former club. And now, young Jack Smith, can he convert from the touchline? He can, you know. London Broncos 24, Bradford Bulls 34 here. It is raining points in the South London sunshine. Less than 5 minutes to go in this game. They've narrowed the gap to 10. Bradford's defence has been on point. It's been one of their strong points in recent weeks, but Brian Noble, Lee Green, whatever the perfectionists, there'll be a bit of work to do ahead of that home visit to Odsal next Sunday, when Featherstone Rovers might be coming to Odsal needing to win to secure their playoff place. It is West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com, Bulls TV. Luke Hooley gets the restart back underway. London Broncos 24, Bradford Bulls 34. Both Liam Tyndall scores, carbon copies of each other, with Paulselli and Walker linking in the London spine, with the ball over the top to Tyndall to touchdown in at the corner. So just moments left here as London play the ball with Davis. Now to Stock, now to Auburn, to Walker. There's a chance here for Davidson, and Davidson's away, up and over halfway. Wonga Blake brings the London youngster into touch. Try-saving tackle from the Fijian flyer against one of London's homegrown products. And just for a moment there, you felt everybody's heartbeat pause, because Ted Davidson, he had Liam Tyndall on the inside. And if that ball is passed on the inside to Tyndall, he's away underneath the post for what would be a hat-trick. A crucial tackle from Wonga Blake. Bradford still applying the energy in this performance. And that aspect will please Brian Noble. Not quite, perhaps, the 24 points and 4 tries Bradford have conceded. One of them when London were down to 12 men. Well, there goes the hooter. Ronan Michael takes the tackle just shy of halfway. It's handshakes between him, Suter, Lovell and Bienek, but Bradford do return to winning ways in the capital. It has not been for the faint-hearted. It certainly took a while for Bradford to wake up and get going, but ultimately there was a period in this game, 5 minutes before half-time, and the ensuing 10 minutes afterwards